Good evening. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professionals. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professionals. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us. Honorable knowledge seekers, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Anana and I am from Bangladesh. Dear knowledge seekers, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and ISO certified international and educational and training institute. In the last 3 years, we have already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus professions and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professionals IGP is the training facility for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualifications. The Institute of Global Professionals is an education institute that provides social work globally recognized and reputable. We serve students and community resources providing and holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skill just and by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We distributed and contributed service locally and normally and internationally, and that students, job seekers, job holders, and also for learners through respective campus locations and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institution. IGP is one of the famous online institute from all over the world. Our vision is education isn't a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminars, courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like creating our portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and one knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can upgrade all day. Kids learning, game websites, free courses, converter sites, and many more. We help to empower you to learn to meet their expectations and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training programs, webinars, and offline online courses for youth and learners by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kinds of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that needs is today's generation. We serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learner. We represent more diversity, growth, and innovation are required. 2. Lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective, best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill levels and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable to us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable to us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 2,237 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 2,237 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participants, and well wishers, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We changed and designed our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprises for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that your account for once with your proper information. Note that with your proper information you will enjoy all features. With mismatches data you can't do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace Slido. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificates. Now it's easier and time oriented. Because after this session, we will not provide you with any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you passed, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificates, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download your certificate of gratitude. If you are an online quiz competition winner, you can download your certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participated in any award function which organized combined support with IGP, you can download that also. You can standardly prepare that on online 18 type of instant certificate from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influencer during the pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activist during the pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2020, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2021, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2022. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1 Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2 Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3 Digital Classroom Engagement 2, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4 The Nutrients in Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5 Upskill in Organizational Leadership and Managerial Skills, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6 Trends and Innovation in Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7 Research a Comprehensive Approach, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8 Art in Teaching Special Program in the Arts, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9 21st Century Tools in Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of IGP Knowledge Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1000 plus international level quizzes with verified e-certificates, teaching tips for teachers, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teachers. You can join IGP Alumni. You can check out our 50 plus premium services website for free, and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promised previously, but lack of our technical issues, we are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous credential. We solved all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to you check all buttons and pages on our website. Surely I can say you will be benefited. Thank you. But note that without an account or logged in, you can't enjoy our services. At present, we are going to start our 2240 webinar session, and program name is Forming an Argument: How to Make Research Writing and Argumentative, and the professor name is Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi, University Faculty, Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University, author researcher for India. Hello, sir.
Hi, good evening. Can you
Hello,
hear
sir.
me?
Good evening, sir.
Mm. Good evening. Very good evening to you.
So, sir, hope you doing great, sir. On behalf of IGP Knowledge Seeker, wants to hear from you about you, sir. Now the stage is yours, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay, fine. So I welcome all the participants who have joined me here. And today we will discuss how to form an argument. And I have also prepared a slide for you. So I hope you are seeing the slide. And the title of the presentation is Forming an Argument: How to Make Research Writing Argumentative. Now, there are a couple of things that I would like to address before I delve deep into this presentation. This presentation is very specific because it deals with research writing.
Yes, sir.
That is one thing. And research
And
writing is always argumentative. Now, this argument or
hello,
argumentative
sir.
has yes. Can you see the
Hello, sir.
slide? Yes. Ah, yes.
No, sir. I can see your slides, and your face is not. Actually, we can see
Now,
properly you.
now are you able to see the slide? Are you seeing the slide now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I was telling you that this presentation is specific, and why this presentation is specific, because it deals with research writing, and research writing is one such crucial field of study. So argument and argumentative. So argument is an ambiguous word, and we have a general connotation, a general meaning associated with an argument when we say, I had an argument with my colleague, I had an argument with my parents, but that meaning is not relevant here. Then, what is the meaning of argument when we talk about research writing? The meaning of argument in research writing is something that is objectively justified, something that is without any prejudiced behavior, something that is not biased. And that makes research writing a true research writing. So, this word argument has a positive connotation and a negative connotation. And we are not going into the negative connotation that we use in day-to-day conversation, which means an angry quarrel or disagreement. But we are dealing with the positive connotation, the positive meaning, that argument is an act or process of arguing, reasoning, or discussing. And when you involve these three verbs, arguing, reasoning, and discussing, then you are into argumentation. Now, when we talk about two meanings of argument, then we also need to deal with that one meaning is associated with the oral meaning. Because when we say that I had an argument, that means we are talking about spoken communication. But this argument, particularly argument in research writing, is in the written communication. And what happens in the negative argument, there is a loss of reasoning. But what happens in an argument in research writing, that it purposefully demands reasoning. So here the meaning of argument is clear, but we also need to understand that why do people argue, or what is the function of an argument. Now, the function of an argument we are talking about uh, in research writing, and the purpose is, or the function is, to be logical, to reach to a reasonable agreement. We human beings, we are known as subjects, we are known as agents, because we have an agency of thinking different from each other. The way I think is not the way you think, the way you think is not the way your friend thinks. So we think differently, but still we agree on certain things. For example, if I say what is 2 plus 2, then everyone will say 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. No one will say 2 plus 2 is equal to 5, or 2 plus 2 is equal to 6. So this agreement is objective. This agreement is unbiased. This agreement is reasonable. So when 2 plus 2 is an example from the field mathematics, but in literature, in social science, this type of objectivity is not possible to be maintained. Crystal clear, razor edge objectivity. But still, through argument, through reasoning, through discussion, we try to reach to a common consensus, an agreement. Now, I give you two different examples, and through those examples, you can you can understand the nature of argument, that how you try to find out an argument in anything. So one such example is a young woman wants a tattoo and argues with her mother, who forbids her from getting one. So this is one incident. Our entire life is made of hundreds and thousands and lakhs of incidents occurring each day. Now, these incidents, and if you find out what is behind each incident, then you get to know the argument. So, like, what is the purpose of life? If you discuss like what is the purpose of life, and you reach to some consensus, like many people say the purpose of life is to earn money. Some people say no, 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 happiness is more important. Other people say no, family is more important. Some people say no, human welfare is more important. So the question is one, what is the purpose of life? But you have different perspective. You have different lenses to reach to an answer. Now, when I say happiness is more important, when someone says health is more important, when someone says no, money is everything, then these are different perspectives. These are subjective perspective. So the answer is not objective. But still, when we take into consideration these are variables, because something is important for someone, but something is not that important from other. So these are variables. We take into consideration these variables and we reach to some conclusion. We reach to some consensus. So there is one possibility that a young woman wants a tattoo and argues with her mother, who forbids her from getting one. So, like a general generation gap, like younger generation, they are crazy about tattoos, and older generation, they do not want to get a tattoo. So, what is the purpose? Like, why there is a fight between a young woman and a mother? There are different answers, but all answers are like, one answer is like mother daughters, they fight like this only. This is the relationship between mother and daughter. But this type of answer is not a good answer in research writing, because you need to fill it with something concrete, some conceptual thing. So, if you want to make this simple incident where a young woman and the mother, they have some disagreement, they have some fight with each other, then you can say like, because the young woman wants to assert her independence. Asserting independence means like, okay, I am your daughter, you are elder to me, but now I have reached an age where I can take certain decisions about myself, I can take certain decisions about my body. So this, when you take this incident and when you try to fill it with some conceptual issues, you are into argumentation. So this is one such thing, like the function, like why something happens. Because nothing happens randomly. There is some purpose, there is some plan. So you need to just try to find out which plan is more suitable for that. So this is one example from, let's say, any incident that occurs. And similarly, there is a passage. Sometimes students become so preoccupied with the format of essay writing, an introduction and a conclusion, they forget the essay's main purpose. It must have something to say on a particular subject. So now what is the function of writing this type of thing? The function is content is more important than the format. So that means you need to take into consideration something substantial in that incident, in that the thing. Then you are into argumentative process. Now, what are the qualities of an argument? So arguments are dialogic. Dialogic means on the democracy side. So it is not like autocratic. It is not like monologic, like whatever I said is true and I don't want to listen to you. That is not the nature of an argument. So die means two and logic. Two means like the two parties, they are discussing something and they are reaching into some consensus, some agreement. So more than one voice is heard in an argument, that is one thing. And they reach to, because you must have a patience to listen to someone else, because everyone is not like you, everyone cannot be like you, and if everyone is like you, then the life will become monotonous. So that is again the quality of an argument, that it is dialogic and more than one voices are heard in an argument. Then exchange of ideas with zero hostility. So it is not the case like you start shouting, you don't want other to speak up, or you start hitting other person, or you just lose your temper. No, all such things are not the part of the argument. So argumentation in its true sense is the manifestation of democracy. So why democracy is very popular, or like one of the you can say successful system of governing people, because here everyone is free to say something, so no one can stop other person to say something. Then dissent is the enactment of difference. So dissent here means difference, like okay, you have different opinion, but you have right to say something that is not in line with me. Then arguments create a dialogue with the text, because in research writing you are not actually arguing with a person, but you are arguing with an absent writer, a writer who is not absent. So in a research writing you cite many people, sometimes you criticize them, sometimes you write a critique of their writing. So that is again forming a dialogue, and arguments enable you to say something new. Again, it is not arguing for the sake of argument, but you have something to say, you have something new to say, that's why you are arguing. So there are certain views on arguments, and arguments or argumentative writing or speaking, they create a discourse. So discourse in linguistics uh, is is a structure that is larger than one sentence. So it can be two sentences, it can be 2000 sentences. They create a discourse. But there must be some interconnection between those two construction. So there are certain critics. They wrote on arguments, discourse like Bakhtin, Voloshinov, Medvedev, and what they believed that discourse is an expression of ideology. So we live in a society, and in society we have different ideologies. You can consider it in this sense, like different people, they believe in different parties, political parties, because political parties are based on different ideologies, but different people, they follow different religions. So again, different ideology. Certain people are vegetarian, certain are non-vegetarian. So again, it is because they follow certain ideology, ideology of food, ideology of politics, ideology of Like certain people, they are happy in like their 2 BHK flat, but certain people they require, no, we require a suite, we require a mansion, we require. So again, that is like how you try to live. Everything is ideological in that sense. So Voloshinov and Medvedev examined discourse in relation to context and not as an abstract system of sign, like linguist inspired by Saussure. So context is very important. Discourse, because as I said, like there are many definitions of discourse, and linguistic definition I provided you. But the problem with the linguistic definition is like they study discourse out of context. But critical discourse analysis, or let's say the social scientist, generally they examine discourse in relation to very specific context, particularly the society. And when we study arguments and discourse, then this one thing is also important, the novel. And why novel is so important as a literary text? Because according to Bakhtin, novel is the prime example of carnivalized literature. Carnivalized literature, that means like whatever you can't do in real life, you can do in the novel. For example, in a movie is also a prime example of carnivalized literature. So let's say, particularly in Bollywood, you see hero and heroine, they are dancing around. But in real life, can you think it is possible that one person is like all of a sudden start singing, dancing, and like all the other people they also join that particular person? So this is not possible, because if someone does this thing in real life, then the people will label that person as a mad person. So this novel is the prime example of carnivalized literature, because like the medieval carnival, it is a site where orthodoxies are contested, satirized, and undermined. So, one such festival like Holi, in Hindu religion, we have a festival Holi. Now, Holi is again one such carnivalized site. That means, like during that Holi, if you apply color to other person, the person will not feel bad. But if you do it any other day, then like it will start a quarrel. So that means like that particular one day, that particular one occasion is an example of carnivalized site, where you can do certain things which are not permitted to do on any other day. So that type of thing is also important. And moreover, like why novel only, not poetry or drama? Because in novel, like you have a larger canvas, you have a huge landscape where so many characters, so many incidents, and so many pages to write about those things happen like in real life. So when we study argument, when we study discourse, then it is also important to understand heteroglossia, certain terms used by Mikhail Bakhtin. So what is heteroglossia? Hetero means multiple and glossia means language. So multiple languages of various social groups that a novel must be composed of. In a novel, different character, each character has a different unique way of saying something, doing something, like in real life society. So, in that sense, being is always a process that necessitates constant dialogue with the world. So, that being is always in the process of becoming. Without interaction, it is impossible for an individual to have a sense of self. So, these are certain views of Bakhtin. So, during argumentative writing, we are not damaging or diminishing text according to Bakhtin, but producing their meaning, because they cannot exist in isolation. So meaning is always contextualized. Meaning happens only in some context. For example, dog. Now, one meaning of dog is a four-legged canine animal that can be domesticated. That is the standard meaning you find in any dictionary, whether you open Collins Cobbled Advanced Learner, or like Oxford Advanced Learner Dictionary. But if you say a poor dog to a man, that means you are talking about the pittiness of the life of a man, a poor dog. Similarly, bitch, the female form of dog, but bitching around. Or like when someone says a woman a bitch, then it has a different connotation. So the context decides the meaning. And if you if you are aware of the context, if you are more careful about the context, as once Ludwig Wittgenstein said in his Tractatus, that word in itself has no meaning. Meaning lies in the context, and one must be more situational competent rather than the linguistic competent. That means if you are situational competent, then that is more important than being linguistic competent. So these are the things that we need to understand, that makes the a person argumentative. So the word dialogue clubbed with argument has a clear democratic connotations. And what is the democratic connotation? It incorporates the free and continual exchange of ideas among those who are equal in power. So it is our democratic right and responsibility to find something to say. So you can understand, like, what is the starting point of an argument? The starting point of an argument is you have something to say always. Because like most of the time, I'm a teacher, and most of the time I find my students, they are sitting quietly, very nicely. They are not raising any question, they are not asking any doubt. That means they are not argumentative. So if you have something to say, even that thing is very silly, that is the starting point of developing an argumentative thinking. So what is an argument and what is not an argument? So, argument is a continuous process. One utterance follows another, progressing or perhaps regressing by return to previously made points through a period of time. So, it is not a step by step process, but it is a continuous process. And it is like a rhizome, the structure of rhizome, where like there is no sequence, but some everything is jumbled up, so you cannot trace which point is the point of origin. So it is a mode of interaction which does not rely upon a challenge for their meaning to be created. That is a non argument. So a seminar type of situation where the lecture to be transformed into a form of argument. For example, I am delivering a lecture, but after my lecture, participants will get a chance to say something. So again, it is a seminar. So it is not like a mode where participants are not allowed to say something. So they can say something, even they can write their questions, feedback, doubts in the comment section. But a typical university lecture is not an argumentative, because most of the time audience or students are passive. Now I will teach you how you can actually do an argumentative reading. So this is an approach devised by S.L. Mayer, and the title of this approach is two-folded approach. Now, two-folded means like you need to fold a paper into two, a paper, A4 size paper, and you just fold it into two. So what you need to do, first step is fold a piece of paper in half vertically or create Word document with two columns. And on the left side of the page, you will make statements about what the text is saying. And on the right side, you will question these statements. So it's very simple. So you need to summarize. Let's say you read a paragraph, you summarize that paragraph left hand side. And on the right hand side, what you need to do, you need to question whatever is written on the left hand side. Because starting to raise a question is also the starting point of raising an argument. So you can subject any text to this process: poetry, drama, fiction, any text. You might attempt to collapse a sonnet into an analysis of every line, a short essay, a novel, anything. So let's say you are reading this. There is a book titled "The Country and the City" by Raymond Williams. And what is there in this book? In this book, the writer analyzes the perceived dichotomy, the differences between rural and urban life through a survey of texts from 18th to 20th century. So 200 years. Whatever the text that were written uh, describing rural life and describing urban life and the economic and the social history. And let's say you are reading this text, and let's say you are reading paragraph number 1. So what you need to do, you read the paragraph and you need to summarize it. Yeah, left hand side. So a statement about what the text is saying. So let's say whatever you have summarized. So you have summarized, like summary, you already know, like one third of the actual is the summary. So country and city are powerful words. Country can mean a whole nation or just its rural area. There is a connotation between the land and the city. So what you need to do in the right hand side in this folded paper approach, you need to question it. So surely you can argue that this connection is not deeply known. The connection between land and the city, that is one question. What is the connection? So what is the actual connection? And do we really all get our living from the land? So whatever the questions that are coming to you, you just need to raise those questions. Similarly, in paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, you need to do the same thing. Now, this is the approach, and now I will give you another example, like how established writers they do this thing. So, let's say this is one paragraph, introductory paragraph from a chapter titled "Mystic Themes, Archetypes, and Metaphors." So, you can see like different font colors I have used here, but there is a purpose to use these font colors. It is not for any beautification purpose. So, here like the starting point is the Twilight Saga has captured the imagination of millions of people worldwide, transcending cultural, national, and linguistic barriers. This is a very general statement about Twilight Saga. So I hope you must have watched the movie Twilight Saga. Now they have written this general statement, but the second thing is, how can this extraordinary popularity be explained? Questioning yourself, whatever you have written, you have questioning it. Now you are questioning it and you are answering that also. So over the years, the question has been posed often. So you are talking about that this is, you are not the only person who is raising this question, but this question has been raised. And through the series has been analyzed from various perspectives, there is still no clear answer. So again, like you are citing different people like Wilson, Wisniewski, Click, Hosel, fine, Moravitz. That means like these people have also raised this or tried to answer this question. But an argument commonly put forth states that the Twilight success is the result of large marketing campaign tailored to fit the sensibilities of vulnerable populations such as women and teens. So vulnerable population is that type of population that is going to get hurt easily. So again, an argument we are providing, but that argument is not the actual argument. Yet, as a Melissa, a click, and these people say this answer is biased and overly simplistic. So you can say like how you can also learn to write like this, starting with a general statement, then raising a question, then whether this question has been raised by other people also, then what is the very popular argument regarding that, and whether that argument is biased or simplistic or true. So that is the pattern that you can also follow. Also, a little linguistic knowledge can also help you to be more argumentative. For example, this is an excerpt from a hymn in Bible, and how this excerpt goes like this: Almighty God, our heavenly Father, who of thy tender mercy didst give thine only Son, Jesus Christ, to suffer death upon the cross for our redemption. And if I ask you to say something about this text, you will say like God gives his only Son, Jesus, to save human beings, and he died for us. But this is not suffice. This is not sufficient. You need to say something more when you are a researcher, when you are an academician. So you can add certain more things like this is the part of a liturgical prayer. It is written in religious English and the usage is used in church service, etc., etc. But again, that is not suffice. Then the linguistic knowledge comes to your help. So you can say like Almighty God is in the vocative case and who is a relative clause. And who of thy tender mercy is an example of inversion of syntax. Then the F of father and S of son is in capitonym, and thy, thine, and didst. They are the examples of archaic words, and suffer death, cross, and redemption, they are in collocations. So when you pay little attention to these words, then you have so many things to say. For example, previously you had only one sentence to say, but when you paid more attention, then what else you can say? The text begins with a vocative expression that directly addresses God, by which the connection between the addressee and address is well established. So we also know, like, if we want to talk to God, we don't require a mediator. We can directly communicate whatever is in our mind or heart to God. So that is the purpose of vocative expression. Also, the inversion of syntax topicalizes God. Archaic use of past tense auxiliary, indicating that the prayer is quite ancient, and we all know like something that is ancient to us, it belongs to our ancestor, it belongs to our cultural root, and it becomes automatically very precious for us. And the capital name, so it removes it from the biological relation, because we are not talking about the biological relation of father and son, but we are actually talking about the spiritual or heavenly connection. So similarly, when you pay more attention to, let's say, text, or linguistically pay attention to, then again you, there are chances then you can become more argumentative. So these are certain things that I have discussed with you related to argument. What is the nature of argument? How you can be more argumentative? What is the relationship between argument and discourse? And how a novel is a very popular site for being argumentative. Likewise, so this is from my side. And if you have any doubt or question or anything else, then any feedback, then you can ask me. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you so much, sir, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, dear sir, for your presentation. Now, sir, it's time for our questionnaire session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable sir, please stay with us after a short video. We will be back in our session part 2, which is the questionnaire part. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After questionnaire, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After questionnaire, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After questionnaire, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seekers, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After questionnaire, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Once again, thank you so much, Honorable Sir, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topics. It will add some value to our day to day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable Sir, hope you see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Thank you all.
Honor- Thank you, sir. Honorable sir, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can, sir. IGP Knowledge Seekers, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. IGP Knowledge Seekers, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. So, certificate instruction is visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website, find a running session, and get enrolled after watching or completing part 1. Click mark as complete. Move to the next watch, which is the learning test quiz. Passing mark is 80%. If pass, back to the course again to download your certificate. If fail to retake the quiz, download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I'm going to share the procedure again. Certification instruction is visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website, sign up or sign in, find a running session and get enrolled after watching or completing part 1 video session. Click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test quiz. Passing mark is 80%. If pass, back to the course again to download your certificate. If fail to retake the quiz, download your certificate PDF or JPG. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. We changed a few process for online live quiz competition. Note that after live, no one can participate. Participation process is now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Visit www.eduigp.com, sign up or sign in. Without this, you can join live quiz competition anymore. Browse the live quizzes button or given link. Find the session name and join with your locked website or user account. Click join and wait for the few minutes for others to join. Enjoy an online live quiz competition. After the quiz, we will issue certificate for the top 10 as previously, which you can find on our website and official Facebook page, Institute of Global Professionals. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. So, the first question is the purpose is to make an argument about how an author conveys their messages to a particular audience. Option A or B. So, the correct answer is and 100% people are correct. And the second question is using plain language is an example of how to make your argument. Option A or B. So the 93% correct percentage is correct. And the third question is to explain how an opponent arguments is wrong is to make option A or B. So 100% is correct answer. And the next question is if I want to make an argument, how should I protect? Option A or B. So the correct answer is next question is how can make an argument more convincing to a target demographic? Option. So 93% people are correct. And next question is using plain language is an example of how to make your argument. Option A or B. So the correct answer is 100% people are correct. And next question is how many reasons at least should you have to make an effective argument? So the correct answer is 100%. And the next question is the purpose of a rhetorical analysis is to make an argument on how an author conveys their message to an audience. Option A or B. So 100% people are correct. And next question is a counterpoint is an essay is used to make your argument stronger by providing how to opposing side is wrong. Option A or B. So 54% people are correct. So congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes to finalize the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition and certificate, and our website or official Facebook page Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes to finalize the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our website and official Facebook page, Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes to finalize the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our website and official Facebook page, Institute of Global Professionals. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill, never stop learning because life never stops teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end live button again, wants to thank all IGP knowledge seekers for all your active participation as always. See you in the next session. Thank you.